I just picked up my first bike ever, a Kawasaki Z300, and I wanted to bring you guys for my first ride home. Yeah, it's a Kawasaki Z300. I'll throw in some cinematic shots here so you can have a better look at it. It's an A2 bike with 39 horsepower in Europe, and specifically in Denmark, where I'm from. You're only allowed to ride an A2 bike when you're 20, and which can have up to 48 horsepower, and this one has 39. So for a beginner bike, for my first bike, I think it's not plenty enough, but it's enough for now. And definitely when I'm starting out, not to have the craziest bike ever. But yeah, 39 horsepower. I've driven it once when I tested it out, and I found it fairly quick, specifically in more normal or lower speeds when I was on the highway. I felt the lack of power a bit more, but I don't like riding that fast either, because this is a naked bike, so all of the wind is thrown completely directly at me. So high speeds are not my thing with this bike. But yeah, so far very happy about it. Bought it off Facebook Marketplace from a private guy. I had my dad with me when I looked at it first, and he thought it was a beautiful bike. It's from 2015 and has only done 18,000 kilometers. I know this speedometer says 5,000, but the previous owner, he changed this whole speedometer, and the counter reset. So there's 5,000 on this and 13,000 kilometers on the old one. But yeah, I bought it from a private seller for around $3,500, $4,000, which is, it might sound like a lot, but in my part of the world, it's a fairly reasonable price for this bike. It's from 2015, with the first generation of the Z300. So yeah, pretty happy about it. So far so good. I also wanted to show you guys where I had my driving license test, and where I almost failed actually, but I'll get to that more specifically when we get there. But I almost failed. Obviously I didn't, but it was very close. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I recently just got my my license a couple of days ago. I looked at this bike last week, and yeah, passed my technical test and then my physical driving test. First try both times, both of the tests. Just a friendly nod to a fellow biker. In Denmark, I don't know if you do it other places in the world, but in Denmark, whenever you see another bike, you usually do a little wave with the hand. But obviously, when I'm not able, when I hold down the clutch or during the turn, you can just nod at them. But it's just a way of saying respect and ride safe. Let me know if you guys do that where you're from. But in Denmark, it's a common courtesy to give a little wave. It's a sign of respect and yeah, fellow companionship, I don't know. I've always seen other bikers do it, and I've seen my father do it, so obviously I'm doing it as well. Look at this nice view. Very beautiful. Denmark has some, can have some pretty boring nature, very flat, but we still have some very beautiful places as well. like this. One of my favorite places in the area where I'm from. My test. It was a close call that almost happened, but I managed to avoid the thing I'm about to tell you. As you can see on that sign up there, it means sharp corners, turns, and there's two of them. The first one to the right. No, to the left, sorry. And then the next one to the right. So we have a few sharp corners. This is not one of them. It's a bit sharp, but not as sharp as the next one. But it's also a beautiful place to ride. When I had my test, I actually came from the other side. So this one, we're going to take it backwards. But when I came in this corner from that side, from here, there came a giant, huge garbage truck, and those kind of trucks are very big, filled the whole road, and I took the turn with, as the instructor said, at a little too much speed. I was driving a bit too fast. So back there, I almost hit the truck, and I had to swerve around him, and I didn't really think any of it. I just did it, pure instincts. And when we came back, he said it was pretty close, and I had to agree. And he said that I should ride a bit slower. And I thought, shit, I don't get my car now. But then he said, I'll give you the car today, but please ride slower when you're on your own. And I obviously said to him, of course I will, because I didn't want him to change his mind before I got it. So I just said, I will, of course, and he gave me the car, and then I passed my license, thankfully, but it almost went bad, but luckily it didn't. I've ridden mopeds for a lot of my life, ever since turning 15, up until I got my own car. I've been riding mopeds, and the feeling and steering and controlling on a motorcycle is a lot of the same aspects. The way you lean and the way you can counter steer and all of that. So when driving a motorcycle and learning to drive a motorcycle, my biggest issue wasn't the way to control it. It was the clutch and the fact that I have gears now, because I didn't have that on a moped. So yeah, that was the difficult part for me, was to learn the gears and the clutch, and I'm still learning and perfecting that. But as far as leaning and controlling and steering goes, I didn't have, I obviously was still a bit new. This is a lot bigger than a moped, and I can go a lot faster than on a moped. But the ground techniques is the same. So I was pretty comfortable whenever I started, and I'm still pretty comfortable the way I control this bike. And, if you want any tips on beginning to ride a motorcycle, please let me know, because maybe I can give some good input when I'm new as well. It might be easier for a new guy to explain someone who's new as well, because I recently experienced being on a bike and riding with gears for the first time. But if there's anything specific you want to see as well, also just let me know. I want to make some more videos, but I don't just want to ride for the sake of riding. I don't have any friends right now with license and bikes. I'm the first one in my friend group. So if we were to just ride, it would just be me, and I find that kind of boring. Content-wise, video-wise. So if there's anything specific you want to see or know, please let me know, and I'll try my best to film something. I'll be home in a few seconds. So I think I'm going to end the video here. But I want to thank you guys for watching my first ever bike ride alone, without an instructor, without someone telling me how to do it and where to go. And my first ride on this bike overall. And I'll see you next time.